What's going on? Back again with another project. Today we're going to be working on cutting out some lettering for one of our clients on a sign they have at their property. It's a fairly decent sized sign, so the letters are about 6 inches give or take each, and the main two capital letters you see here are about 16 inches together. What I've done is I've basically cut right in half at that S. You can see where the S goes to the N. And the reason I've done this is so that the laser can cut out this as one piece. I don't want a bunch of individual cutouts right here. And with the size of my laser, the best option was to just cut it right at the top of that N. And I'm going to just lay them on top of one another when we attach it to the sign. And because we're going to be using black acrylic, you really won't even be able to see the seam. So I wanted to quickly go over how I took this logo from the SN combined and turned it into these half images, because it's not as simple as just using a cut tool like you would expect or how you would expect it to be. It's a little more to it, and I just wanted to go over it real quickly in case anyone wanted to mimic the video and try to keep up. And this will work for, more than just laser projects. So essentially, let's take that logo and we're going to look at this where I've already got it cut in half. So the reason it is and it appears that it's cut in half is actually because I drew a rectangle and I filled in the background color with white so that it would match the background on the bottom. So if you see, if I delete this rectangle and I hit delete, I gotta click it. If I click that and delete it, you can see the top of the logo is back. And you'll notice right here, there's a little line, and that line is there for a very important reason. So let me go back and replace that rectangle again. As you can see, this is all covered up with that white rectangle space. But when I save this project and I move it over to my laser software, the Creative Space, without this line being added, which is another element I used, just clicked on the line tool, clicked it, drug it into place, just resized it, did what I needed to get it to fit correctly. But essentially, let me zoom in. Without this line here, this white space is open, and it's considered open to the rest of the document when you move it to another application. So I needed to close that in. So I just put that line there just so that when you take and move this file to another application or another project, it considers this as a completed object. There's no outside border or outside background leaking into the internals of the image itself. So I did add a line there, and that's why you see that little line when I delete the rectangle. So essentially, to mimic this, you'd put your design, whatever it is, pull out your shape tool, cover up the exact space you need, then make sure there's no openings bleeding into the remaining portion of your project. I did that by just closing this off with a line. You may have multiple instances on your item that you are creating that you may need to close off the space on. But once you have that done, you'd simply duplicate this page, and as you can see, this is the duplicated copy right here. So if I wanted to now get the bottom, I could take this white rectangle I created and drag it down to that line that we had just created to close off the space, and it will work on the top as well. You just need to zoom in and ensure that that line is still showing, and it is. So that right there will close it off. And now you have the top and the bottom. That is how you split letters in half in Canva. Now let's get back to the rest of the video. The rest of the sign is just letters. So for example, let's take a look at this. We've already got these laid out because I did make this sign in wood prior to what we're going to be cutting out today, which we're going to be using acrylic, black acrylic. Once this loads, you'll see that it's really just letters. All the laser settings are set up, ready to go. The only thing we're going to need to do is lay the acrylic into the laser, frame it, make sure it fits, and start the cutting process. So really, there's nothing left to do except cut everything out. So let's jump forward. I'm going to time-lapse the video and show you some clips of this laser in action.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit that subscribe and like button. See you next time.